William Wagner here in Burbank, California, looking for the truth, wondering why Pellicano's in prison and if he was set up, and why things have turned out the way they have on the Michael Jackson estate. Somebody wants to talk.
Hello, we're coming to you from Los Angeles. I'm here with Mr. Wagner. I've decided to speak out on something that has been on my heart quite heavy. Recently there was a gentleman, his name is Anthony Pellicano, and he has now made an appeal to the courts for a release. The release was scheduled to be heard inside the criminal courts downtown Los Angeles, July 9th, 2012. Prior to that date being heard over the weekend, there was some other situations that arose that caused a delay in the case. Really important to go back and talk about why he's there, why he's where he is now, and what got him there. And I want to quote him on something that he said in 1993 when he was representing Michael Jackson, along with Mr. Weitzman, Howard Weitzman, who he was actually brought to California by, and he was working with, it was him and Bertram Fields. And I want to quote him: "I swear on my children, this decision was not of Michael Jackson. If I wanted to, I could be working with him this day, today, November 23rd, Bert Fields and Anthony Pellicano resigned from a case that was inside the courts in 1983 of Michael Jackson. The resignation that fell upon them this day came on a heated argument that happened inside the courts. There's a lot of debate about what that argument was and why they walked, but I clearly believe that it was a setup. I believe that Howard Weitzman instigated it to bring in John Branca back, which ended up happening, so that then they could be back in charge of working again inside the case with Michael Jackson. The departure of Anthony Pellicano and Bert Fields, with their absence, it left basically Howard Weitzman in the courts, and he needed to replace them, so he brought in Johnny Cochran, and then Johnny Cochran worked alongside him with John Branca. 2000, but I do remember that Bertram Fields had actually gotten rid of John Branca. This is something that was bringing him back into the fold. The reasons for Pellicano being put in federal prison, was he set up?
Do you believe he was set up?
I believe that could be a big possibility because he's been in bars for 10 years now. He's been behind bars. And the only criminal indictments right now that are in front of him are the RICO acts, the RICO charges that are up against him. And his attorney, Stephen Gruel, who's based out of San Francisco, says that clearly he's an innocent man and that he's in a position where he can get his appeal and walk, and that they've held him way over his time that was due him here in the Los Angeles Criminal Courts building. I don't originally know what the sentencing was. I do believe that he got an additional sentencing because of the RICO indictments that were against him.
Are you saying originally that Pellicano took the dive to protect Michael, and that he was saying that Michael didn't pay out any money, which we now know the insurance company paid out the money over Michael's objections? But that wasn't well known back in '93. You're saying Pellicano
took the hit. This thing is so much bigger than anybody can even understand.
And they put him away so they could bring John Branca in. So
yes. Yes.
Howard Weitzman.
Yes, they did. They wanted John Branca in the driver's seat so him and John can control the estate. And this
so you're saying they were planning to kill Michael even back in '93?
Possibly. It could have been a setup, and I believe that it was all something that was well planned even back to the day of when Burt Fields and Anthony Pellicano were working together. They knew that Michael was an innocent man, and Weitzman did whatever he could do to set Pellicano up. He actually made Pellicano give a statement to the press that day of November 23rd, and it was that day that he actually ended up walking out and resigning. And I will quote again something that he actually said: "It was a nightmare."
Who said this?
I wanted the hell out of it. Pellicano, Anthony Pellicano.
He said that in court.
He said that in court, and he said that they were moving slower than molasses, and it's like hell here. I just want out.
But he was already in custody then, wasn't he?
No, he wasn't. Moving slower than molasses, and it's like hell here. I just want out. I just want out. I just want out.